Welcome to Let Me Know How It Is, a podcast about all things geek. I'm Zach Slater.
I'm Frank Melman.
I'm Tommy Smithereens.
And I'm Clifton.
Okay, so recently, hashtag 5Xmen was trending on Twitter due to a question posed by Gail Simone. She wrote, quote, "There's a lot of mutants. You get to pick 5 mutants to be on your X-Men Dream Team comic. They could be from any era. Who do you pick? Xavier's a freebie, so 5 others." So we're listing our X-Men team of 5. But before we start, Frank, do you have Gail Simone's list, the ones that she chose?
I do. I have it here.
Okay.
She chose Nightcrawler, Angel, Storm, Kitty Pryde, and Rain, Wolfsbane.
Okay.
Good list.
Yeah,
I would read that.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be a good team dynamic. Sure.
All right, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So I was thinking about it, and I was trying to put together, a team dynamic that I would want to read as well as something I would want to do, would want to actually write. So I came up with my main thought was kind of like I wanted a team of seasoned veterans, but I also kind of wanted characters that are kind of over it, like they've been
Okay.
through a lot because
Right.
by putting on the X and being a member of various X-Men teams,
Like, they're too old for this.
kind of. There's a little bit of that, or kind of like, wow, Professor Xavier's dream just didn't really come true for me.
Okay.
So I went with I'm going with Jean Grey,
All
or
right.
Marvel Girl, if you want to call her that, or and Polaris, Magic, Colossus, and Firestar.
Okay.
Okay.
I considered Firestar.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I just think with Jean Grey and Polaris, I think the two of them are just like, Jean Grey especially is kind of like, God, I'm tired of being the Phoenix. I'm tired of dealing with all this stuff. I'm an original X-Men. I think Polaris, same thing, where it's kind of like, she was kind of like Magneto's daughter for a minute.
Yeah.
I feel like she got over it really quick, like really fast. She was just done with it all.
Right. Yeah, they were. I mean, there was a point like in the 80s before Havoc rejoins where they're kind of like living on their own in a ranch, like a dude ranch somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I always feel like she's like not really like, fine, I'll do it about the whole thing. And then I got to think. At one point, I had Scarlet Witch as the like one of my is on my list. And instead, I swapped out Magic because I think there's just the whole limbo and kind of the fact that the character kind of had to grow up too fast because of the whole thing where she was basically like at one point she's younger, like she's like 11 or 12, and then she comes back from limbo, and no time has passed on Earth, and she's suddenly like older than Kitty, I think, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the idea of there's not a lot of brother sister groups like like I thought of like it was kind of like an analog to Quicksilver and Wanda, and the idea that the two I don't think we've ever had. Well, I think Avengers versus X-Men is the only place where the two of them were together on the same team.
Right.
But I like the idea of them being able to play off each other, and I kind of like the idea of Colossus before in all new, all different X-Men or giant size X-Men. He's kind of like played as sort of being like young and naive, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to see him more in a role of being, kind of like an elder statesman.
Right.
And then have Firestar sort of be your younger kind of entry character.
Okay. So Colossus playing mentor to Firestar a little bit. And not him and Magic together is one of the things I like most about your team. Yeah. I think that's cool because, I like when family dynamics get played up.
Sure.
And the other thing I also really like is you got Jean and Polaris on there, and I like that they can have conversations about what it's like to date Summer's brother.
Sure, of course. That was also the thing in there too. It's just the idea of like, well, let me tell you this, about
right.
That sort of thing. So those are my 5. That's my group. Those are my to me my X-Men.
What's the deal with their space pirate dad?
Right.
Like their deadbeat space pirate dad.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, X-Men.
Yes.
I love you.
Yeah.
No, it's a good team.
Thank you.
Very, very good team. I like it. I like that you also had a theme of like what, like kind of almost like what the hook of the book would be.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking it long term. Give me 3 years on that, Marvel. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I do not have one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Clifton, Tommy?
I compiled my team kind of like D&D party style.
Nice.
Okay.
So I was selecting the characters I like, and also ones that have, different power sets that do different things and have different personalities to play off each other. So the ones I came up with were Cyclops, because I feel like he was probably left off of everybody's list.
Probably.
I think he was.
So I put him at the top of my list, because where else is he going to be but on an X-Men team?
Sure.
So he's the strategist.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Shadowcat,
Okay.
Kitty Pryde, and then of course, if you've got Shadowcat, you got to have Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
In my team, you do.
Right.
Followed by Wolfsbane,
Okay.
and lastly, Dupe.
Okay.
So you and James Gunn both want Duke.
I had not seen Gail Simone's list for any similarities, and I had not seen James Gunn's list.
Well,
so
yeah, James Gunn was like, does Dupe count? Because if Dupe counts, I want him on my team. In his tweet, he was like, Dupe and Phantom X, Kitty, Storm, and Wolverine. That's his group. So,
yeah.
But
didn't he add too that he's like, if Dupe doesn't count, I don't want to play anymore?
Right. He's like, I don't care if I can't have Dupe, then I'm not playing. So
I had not seen any of this.
That's so funny.
But Dupe was in Ecstatics, which is what X-Force became, and then teams up with Wolverine, so he's got to count.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Absolutely. That's a good group.
Yeah.
I like that.
It is a good group.
And he just fills in all the rest of the powers you need that they don't have.
Right.
Because he's got a lot of powers.
Yes.
I approached mine kind of similarly, Clifton, where like I just kind of thought from a strategy standpoint, like what powers like in a fight would work.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys are gonna hate my list. So I have Storm as a team leader, strategist, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
I have Rogue as my muscle.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only person to have this person on their list. I have Forge as the tech genius.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Right.
I have Havoc as sort of my distance fighter, right? He's got right, so he could be sort of like the sniper and come at you from way behind.
Right. He's got the range. He's the range attacks.
Yeah. And then this was a toss up. So my first one, I was gonna go with Kitty to be my combat specialist and my stealth person.
Right.
But Clifton, you're gonna hate this. But I decided to switch out Kitty for Psylocke. Because Psylocke, I get combat specialist, stealth, but I also get a telepath.
Sure. Yeah.
So I went with that. Which version of Psylocke? I don't have the strength to go through. I don't even know which versions are around anymore.
I don't know if anyone does.
Are you going with Butterfly like early Alan Davis Psylocke?
That's my favorite one. I love that.
I'm going with the ninja one that I grew up with. You know, like that's the one I know.
Right.
But yeah, that's my team. Talked myself out of a bunch of them though. Like, you know,
right.
Colossus getting cut was a tough one for me. Very, very tough.
Yeah. He was my tank. He was the tank on my team.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that too. And I saw him on a ton of people's lists, and I love Colossus. He's like top 3 X-Men for me. But just in the name of being different, I thought like, well, Rogue could be the powerhouse too.
Right.
You know, like, and I just thought the visual could be cool too. Of like, because you normally get like the giant tank in the background. I thought it'd be fun to kind of have the play the visually a little different. You know.
Oh no! Now I just thought of one I would have.
Okay. Well, I mean, the other thing that I think of with Rogue is the idea that at some point, and it's one of those things where I'm glad it doesn't get used a whole lot, but I wish it got used more. Was like there's a great JR cover where it's like she's Nightcrawler and Colossus and this amalgam of all the characters put together. I think that bit is something that they should do more.
The Uncanny X-Men with the fighting Nimrod, where Rogue on the cover has the powers of Colossus and Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's a great cover, yeah.
That should happen more often, but definitely.
Yeah.
And I think, the idea of like, here guys, let me borrow your powers so I can handle whatever this is what is a lot more of what should be done.
Yeah.
Because I think so much of the time, like her mutant ability is so much of it's a curse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
I had that in the back of my head too, where she could be the mimic too. She could be like, okay, like we don't have this ability, but like find me that guy, and we can use it and everything. And I also just thought it was cool that her and Storm, I have flight as an ability too. So You know?
Yeah, she could absorb Forge's power to make a time bomb out of a water pick. So
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. The only relationship I had on my team to play off of each other though was like Storm and Forge, I thought.
Yeah.
Like so like I think my lineup has some relationship shortcomings as far as that goes, but anyway.
Well, the one when I thought of another tank that I would have definitely put on if I thought of in time is my favorite tank in all of Marvel Comics, the big brawler character, but who's not a big brawler character, is Molly from Runaways.
Oh, yeah.
Who is a mutant and would have counted. But,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm locked in my list at the moment.
I thought about her for a minute too.
I thought about putting Beast as the tech genius too, because in the team lineup pinup shot, the tank would have been the smart guy.
Right.
Right. And the smaller one would have been the powerhouse, which I thought would have been fun too. But
sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Tommy in here.
My team would have been Storm, Bishop,
all right,
Shard, his sister.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spike, Storm's son from X-Men Evolution.
Nephew.
Or nephew, sorry.
Right.
Nephew. Yeah, right, nephew. And I was hard on this last one because I was going to fight it, but I just decided to go with M.
Uh-huh.
But I was going to put Nightcrawler.
Okay.
Because they say he's German, but they don't say if he's black.
Right.
And the skin tone, I would go with saying he's black, but no one really confirms it.
Right.
So instead of being controversial, I just went with M.
Okay.
Because my team consists of people who are family members.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Ultimately, they're all related to one another, and they're all black.
Okay.
As far as Storm's the leader, of course, Bishop is the grizzled veteran, whether you believe it or not. He's seen it all, done it all.
Sure.
Shard is that plucky upstart who thinks she can add something to the team. Spike, you could argue say he could be a tank or the Wolverine, depending on how he uses his powers.
The knifey one.
Yes.
Right.
And then M is going to be, again, she could play a tank, but at the same token, she's the bankroll.
Right.
Because she comes from a rich family. And there you go.
Nice.
I don't even know which one is M. Who's M?
Monet St. Croix. She was on
Generation
X. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then X.
You find
that
out
explains
that
it.
you find out that she's two people, not just one.
Okay.
Two sisters. So again, family.
I like your team because I have such a soft spot for Bishop also, and I think his power is so underutilized. I think his power is so cool where he essentially like redirects energy that's thrown at him or he's hit with. Yeah, no, I like your team,
and the idea that he just carries a shotgun into any fight is pretty cool too.
Yeah,
so, he is armed to the teeth.
I forget what's Shard's ability. I forget.
That's a good question. Because she's related,
Because I remember in the XSE stuff, wasn't she she was alive for a couple issues and then she dies early on, and that's part of his tragic backstory.
Yeah, yes, he dies. Yeah, he carries that with him all the way everywhere. But to me, I just always saw Bishop as more like what's his name, the Black King.
Oh, like Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, because they use it with strength and kinetic energy. Then they manipulate more in X-Men First Class.
Right.
But ultimately, it's energy redistribution. But Shard, I'd have to look up Shard because I just did it because she was black.
Okay. Fair enough.
You'd be surprised how hard it is in the X-Men universe.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Another good tank character, I just thinking of it was Armor. Because for some reason when you said M, Armor jumped into my head because I forgot their names for a second. I thought that's who you meant. But yeah.
I did some research real quick. Shard is able to absorb ambient light particles and convert it for a variety of effects. She can fire photonic energy from her hands.
Okay.
So
cool. She's like Dazzler and Jubilee put together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's cool.
No, I like it. All right. Awesome. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Please remember to like us, follow us on social media, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we will catch you next time.